Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Healing Your Brain is Possible. This is based on a Dr. Jocker's article about brain regeneration. We have Dr. Justine here with us today. We realize you could have lots of questions about the information presented, and Dr. Justine has made herself available by text at 647-987-9355. I wanted to introduce Dr. Justine Blainey-Broker, and she is the owner and chiropractor at Justine Blainey Wellness Center. She has an incredible natural healthcare team that she manages and guides. She believes that everyone deserves a healthcare team that focuses on prevention, optimal health, and open communication. Please help me welcome Dr. Justine.
Hello, everybody. All right, we have lots of great coming up webinars, so staying tuned with us, learning about vertigo and dizziness. I know I've seen my mother suffer with this and our patients suffer. I've seen people, just the world is spinning, they're throwing up. We want to strengthen our waistline, our core strength that helps our backs, helps our spinal alignment, and learn about the importance of B12, especially if you're vegetarian. So stay tuned and share these talks with others. They are free, and it's part of our missions to give back and make a difference with Maximize Living Worldwide. Coming up today, we're going to talk about brain health, protecting your noggin, and 12 ways to help you heal and support your brain health. Now, this isn't here to diagnose or treat. This is providing education using Dr. Jocker's wellness talks. So if we look at neuroplasticity, our brain is so cool. It is the most important thing. You know, it's the server. It controls everything in your body. It controls all bodily functions and how our body relates to the environment, and how our brain is just constantly changing and making new cells and new abilities to communicate. Our brain is what controls our memory. And a lot of times we think that, you know, what we're born with is what we get. But what we know with neuroplasticity is that we can make new synapses and new cells and new activities with this neuroplasticity. It doesn't have a limited capacity to generate. And there's literally over 700 different neurons being made a day through the hippocampus. So if we go to the next slide, you'll see on neuroplasticity that it helps with DNA, it helps with your membranes, your transmitters, helps with hormones. It helps with these synapses. So we know that the amazing part about making these new brain cells that is affected by our lifestyle, our nutrition, and our patterns. And so some of the things that affect this neuroplasticity and this neurogenesis of making new cells is our exercise, our brain exercises. We're going to talk about that today. The stress reduction, and that's where chiropractic comes in. Our nutrition, our lifestyle, our meditation, our prayer, our thoughts. Basically, they say neurons that fire together, wire together. So the good news about this is that we can help our brains function better by changing our lifestyle. So one of the things we work with is this BDNF, brain-derived neurotropic factor, and that's a protein inside our cells. The BDNF, you'll see that in yellow. And it's involved in our learning and all of our body functions, in our eating and our drinking. And we can make new cells with this neuroplasticity, where you can, if we look at the next slide and you look on the right-hand side, you'll see all these different types of synapses where you see the rerouting or the sprouting, so that if one line isn't working, you see the before and after on the left there, you'll see that you can make a new pathway. Or if you look on the sprouting side, if you look at the A, that it is no longer working, that the B will now make new roots in order to help our brain function better. So this is pretty cool stuff, because if our brain is able to function better, we're going to be able to help with neurodegenerative diseases like dementia, Alzheimer's, Huntington's, and depression. So this is so important to give our, think about it as flowers, to give ourselves the right roots, the right nutrients to help this neuroplasticity. So There are things that affect our neuroplasticity and that damage our neuroplasticity. And one of them is these sugar imbalances. We know that if blood sugars spike and come down, you've seen that we've had a bunch of sugar and then all of a sudden you're tired or you have brain fog. You can't focus. You can't remember things. You just want to sit. You don't want to move. You're irritable. You're lightheaded. We know we can feel fatigue or craving. As soon as you have sugar, you want more sugar. All of these areas affect our brain and the neuroplasticity. So one of the areas that affects the damage to our brain is sugar. And second one are the toxins and how they affect our body. So looking at different heavy metals like lead and mercury and aluminum and arsenic, fluoride that can be in our water, DPT. A lot of these things can be in our personal care products and different medications, on different like chairs and cleaning products. So it's really looking at different ways to detox, because we can't live in a perfect environment. So talking to your naturopath about ways to detox, or our holistic nutritionist, because we know that these toxins can affect our brain cells and affect our memory. There's usually 7 major problems that can affect with our sedentary lifestyle, and that can affect brain development. We know that it can affect things like when we're not getting moving, it affects our organs, it affects our back and our spine, and that's why chiropractors are very, very important in affecting that spinal alignment so that you get that lymphatic flow, allows you to get rid of toxins, allow you to lubricate your spine, to have proper movement, and the better energy and messages from your spine to your brain, and your brain through your spine to the rest of your organs. It affects your muscles, it affects your blood supply, it affects your brain function, it affects your fatigue. So we gotta move, and we gotta get ways to keep us motivated to move. And that's why we have so many talks about movement and strategies to stay on track. We also have our handout of different movement challenges that can be done whether you have weights or you're just doing body weight. The next one that can truly affect your brain development is stress. And this is definitely what chiropractors focus on, and reducing the stress in your life and your body. And we can see that there's multiple symptoms of stress, whether it's emotional, like anger and irritability and brain fog, or headaches. It can affect our emotions and our ability for our amygdala. That's a part of your brain, your amygdala, and how it says signals with your hippocampus. So we'll see that how it affects our lungs, our heart, our breathing, our bones, our nerves, our brain. When we have these stress responses. And you know this because if you've ever been nervous about something, it can make you can't remember things. If you've ever done a test and all of a sudden you have a brain freeze and you can't even remember what you read that morning, and because we know that stress affects our brain cells. So the other one is our gut health and our dysbiosis. That can affect our ability for our brain to function. So you see this brain gut action. So our gut, if it's not healthy, the microbiome can send and influence our brain. Similarly, our brain can influence our gut. So you know this because if you're nervous, you can get an upset stomach. You can feel like you want to eat more, which unfortunately is my challenge. I want to always go for the bad things, versus you don't want to eat at all. You don't feel like the need to eat, which was typically what happened with my stepmother. Whenever she was under stress, she didn't want to eat at all, and she would typically lose weight. So we know that this gut microbiome can influence moods, mental health. It can affect brain fog. It can affect our learning abilities. And this is just crucially when we're dealing with the pandemic, we're dealing with stresses of loss, stresses with jobs, stresses with finances, stresses with relationships. We know that this can affect our gut health, and then our gut health and our stress can affect our brain health. So today we're going to go over 12 strategies to help deal with these challenges: our anti-inflammatory diet, intermittent fasting, how to get to ketosis and in and out of ketosis, our exercises and stress reduction. We're going to talk about sleep and gut health, neurobic exercises, so how to exercise your brain, magnesium, autophagy, and some of the mitochondria support nutrients and herbs. So great stuff that from Dr. Jockers that we can do to help protect our brain. So number one is an anti-inflammatory diet. Removing anti-inflammatory foods like sodas and pops and sugars, grain-fed versus grass-fed meats and chickens and poultry, looking for organic foods and foods that have less chemicals. So we look at the grains and dairy and fast foods that increase our risks of inflammation that affects our body and our brains, and looking towards adding those healthy fats like avocado seeds and healthy oils like coconut oil and avocado oil, your healthy fishes and your healthy proteins that are grass-fed, free range, and wild fish, and minimizing the sugars, even the sugars of high glycemic fruits and vegetables, and looking towards lower glycemic foods. The second one is looking towards intermittent fasting. And there's different ways to intermittent fasting. And what that does is help with cellular repair. And so it helps you repair the damage really of those nerve cells and repair the damage of that inflammation. So there's many ways. You can do 12-hour fast, 14-hour fast, 16-hour fast, a day a week, or do it 3 days a week. Obviously, some of the hardest ones are eating in a 3 to 4 hour period. But the cool part about this is you can mix and match. You don't have to be stuck to one way. You can find a way that works for you. Typically, the easiest way is really trying to get into that 12, 14 hours at the beginning so that you're not eating, after 9 p.m., for example, between 9 and 9 or 8 and 8 can be easier for many people to follow, to shortening that window to eat. And if it's difficult, maybe you do it 3 days a week. You skip breakfast and you eat breakfast at lunchtime. So you're still eating that high healthy meal, but the first meal of the day is later in the day. And some people choose to just stop after lunch. So they're going to have their meals between, say, 6 a.m. and noon. So find the way that works for you. Number 3 is looking at ways to get ketosis. This helps with autophagy. This helps with inflammation. It improves your mitochondria biogenesis, helps you with brain health. So it doesn't mean that following a ketone diet or a ketogenic diet is an everyday thing. We do need to cycle and change our diet. But I mean, this is from long times ago that we've been learning about fasting, whether it's through a religious form or through a nutritional way, but looking at different ways to help your body use ketones for your energy. And ketones can get to the blood-brain barrier. So it does have to be in a safe way. I do recommend talking to your chiropractor, your naturopath, your nutritionist to make sure you're monitoring the ketones so you don't get in ketosis, and know that you can have symptoms along the way. So please see our past talks about the ketogenic diet. The fourth way is getting movement. Yes, we need to move. We know this helps with circulation. It helps with lymphatic drainage. It helps with stress, helps with your neurotransmitters. It helps with mental clarity. You know, when you get moving, you just feel better. You remember things better. And so sitting and learning this, sitting at a computer is horrible. We need to have your phone set off, to have regular alarms, to get up and just walk around the house or walk to the curb and back and get back at it. You'll actually focus better. You'll get more done in less time if we make sure that we get our body moving. So minimally, our goal is to be moving 20 to 30 minutes at least 5 times a week. The goal is 20 to 30 minutes every day of the week, but have a minimum standard for you and a schedule of knowing where you're going to be able to get your body moving. Many times, if you do our HIIT exercises, high intensity interval training, this can be done in just 10 to 15 minutes if you have to, but you're going hard, at that point, and for a shorter duration with 36 hours of affecting your metabolism afterwards. So follow our other movement talks, but getting a schedule, getting an accountability person to keep you going, keep you on track. Put it in your calendar, put it in your phone, so that you have yellow lines. You know, like you think of the car, you don't pass and go on the other side of those double yellow lines. That's the way I feel about my exercise programs. I get it done, you know, and I try and book everything around it so that make sure that it's a high priority. Number 5 is looking at ways to reduce stress. And that's definitely where chiropractic sits in, where we want to help you feel, function better, reduce stress on your overall body, and how that affects your nervous system, how that affects your muscles, how that affects your energy levels. So we know that giving thanks and focusing on gratefulness helps create that positive move, helps start that day in a great way, helps create more mental clarity, a satisfied life, helps us reduce those materialistic needs. So this can be done with daily prayer or daily meditation, journaling, getting those exercise, getting out in nature, recording or following relaxation tapes, writing down or speaking out our areas of gratitude, getting in with nature. So some of the things that you want to focus in is maybe a journal or just talking it into your phone. 3 things every single day that you're grateful for. Telling somebody every single day what you appreciate about them, what's great about them, what's great about your relationship, and trying to find ways to silence that negative, you know, cross, 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 or wax on, wax off. Turn off that negativity. When you think of reflexology or Reiki, is just like wave it away. And if sometimes when you do a physical move, it helps just clear that negativity away from your brain in order to go towards the positivity. Number 6 is we do need quality sleep, and we have numerous talks about quality sleep. We need that regular routine. So, you know, same time to go to bed, same time to get up, changing it maybe by half an hour on the weekends, but a huge change really affects us for a long time afterwards. You can't just get catch-up sleep or catch-up naps. So a dark room, same room, no electronics, use a mask or blackout shades, avoiding caffeine, 6 to 8 hours prior before, losing sleep herbs, music or different types of vibrations or sounds can help right before bed, avoiding, the light or the sun right before bed, and getting regular exercise. Some people find exercise right before bed is helpful. Most people find it wakes them up, so you have to be careful with that routine. Looking at herbal teas, different herbs like melatonin, serotonin, reading, stretching right before bed can make a huge difference. So definitely see our sleep docs on different types of pillows, mattresses, bedding, environment to get the best results. Number 7 is supporting your gut health, looking at probiotics. I definitely recommend talking to a naturopath or our holistic nutritionist in order to better understand prebiotics, probiotics, but certainly understanding that brain gut reaction, super, super, super important in order to be able to protect your brain health. Number 8, pretty cool. Neurobic exercises, how to exercise your brain. So thinking about things like balancing on one leg, putting your hands up, putting your hands side on your one leg, sticking your leg out to the right, out to the front, out to the back, doing light squats or light exercises, walking barefoot on the grass, journaling, writing, reading, puzzles, Sudoku, learning different games like chess, creating different routines, driving a different direction. I know one thing is brushing my teeth with my opposite hand, like my non-dominant hand, or eating with your non-dominant hand. Closing your eyes and opening them wide, closing your eyes and opening them wide, or contract, 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 and then relax. Contract, 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 and relax. Or think about learning something new, a new language, a new skill, a new music instrument, a new even computer game, or knitting, or artwork. Focusing on using different parts of your brain, new language, they know increases your longevity. So using these exercises to use different parts of your brain can be super helpful. If you're a singer, sing different kinds of music in order to expand different parts of your brain. Number 9 is reducing your toxic load, and this is super, super difficult. There's many areas where toxic environments can affect into our liver and our different organs, even into our joints, and affect that achiness in our body. And these toxins come from everywhere, whether we breathe them in or they come in our skin. So super important to talk to a naturopath or our holistic nutritionist who does foot detoxes. That's kind of like the easy way out to do a detox. My mother likes those, and you can see the clear water go disgusting because of that sweat, and it makes her feel lighter, it makes her feel like she can move easier. So very careful though that some of these detoxes can affect if you're on medications, and can make you feel pretty crummy. So you want to do it in a supervised way to remove toxins physically from your body. But in your home environment, look at your personal care products, your cleaning products, your cooking products to get rid of the Teflon, the BPAs, the different types of water filtration systems in order to be able to remove these toxins and help your brain function that much better. Number 10 is looking at magnesium. Magnesium helps your muscles, helps relax your body. So it supports your brain health. There's numerous different types of magnesium. So certainly Jocker sells a product, but look at all different types and at the different health food stores, at our office, and talk to your naturopath about the right one for you. Number 11 is looking at autophagy herbs, and these can things like quercetin, ginger, turmeric, resveratrol, citrus, bergamot. So we can look at organic sage. A lot of these you can even be just growing in a pot in your backyard. Matcha green tea. So looking at these different types of herbs are things that you can easily add into your foods, into your teas on a regular basis. And the focus is to try and help you get rid of those bad cells and help your body create new cells. So out with the old and in with the new. And number 11 was the autophagy herbs. Number 12 is mitochondria support. So again, this is one from Dr. Jocker's. Help support cognition, brain health, mental health, your energy levels. Your mitochondria is super powerful in your body, but it can be confusing about taking too many supplements, being a little overwhelmed with supplements. I know that can happen with my mother. So talking again to your naturopath about what's crucial for you specifically, and making sure that you're not overwhelming your body or creating dependency on some of these different types of supplements. The last one is a bonus one, is hyperbaric oxygen chamber. So definitely something that I have used is a hyperbaric oxygen chamber with my severe allergies. Helps create that energy through your skin. So it's like a coffin that is clear, and you can lay in there for an hour and a half and 2 hours where the oxygen, they call it a dive, where you get into those deep oxygen states, and then you can watch a movie while it's going on. So down in Port Hope, just south part of Toronto by the water, they do have medical doctors who run the hyperbaric oxygen chambers. And when I was there, I would see people to help with Alzheimer's, people to help with ADHD, people that would help with dementia, diabetes and different ulcers and wounds, different injuries to heal. I know with my allergies, it shuts my brain down, and I literally can't think or walk or open my eyes. And after doing the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, it's amazing. My eyes open. I'm able to walk with better balance, with better energy, and you can see and feel an immediate difference. So tons of information here with the 12 strategies for your brain health. Give them a shot. Many of these are free. Dr. Jockers has a guide. Talking though to your healthcare team, and our goal as chiropractors is to be on your healthcare team. What we work on is the brain and how it sends messages to all the different parts of your body, and how those messages can come from your hands, your knees, your feet, your organs, and travel back to your nervous system. So when you see in this picture, you'll see that the nerves go to your heart, go to your lungs, Go to your kidneys, go to your digestive system, go to your different limbs for strength and power, balance, and reflexes. But then also they have to exit with the efferent nerves, and then they have to arrive with those afferent nerves back to the brain, for your brain being that master controlling system. So what we do is remove the stress, remove those subluxations, areas that compress on your nerves, and try and take that pressure off, reduce that inflammation, so there's better balance and better from right to left, from top to the bottom, so that your body and your innate intelligence, that amazing healing power inside your body, can function at its ultimate best. We are given the gift of these amazing bodies, these amazing temples, and our goal is take care of it. Take care of our temple as best possible, and it will take care of you. So awesome information. Share this with others. Share about the upcoming wellness talks. We want to be a part of just that daily one thing of constant, never-ending improvement from Tony Robbins. Just learning one more thing each week and adding one more change. And think about the amazing changes that you will have at the end of the year. If you just did one every single week, that's 52 changes. Multiply that, times 5 years. You've made massive, massive change in your life and those that you lead around you. So stay tuned with us, share with others. Always do a review. We appreciate those reviews. That helps others know about our great talks, helps others feel more comfortable to come and visit us, ask questions, whether it's initially virtually or in person. We are there to help you. So we appreciate those reviews. We appreciate connecting with you. Have a wonderful night, and I look forward to the next talk.